Mr. Co-Chairs, on behalf of the state and people of Vietnam, I extend my warmest greetings to Mr. Co-Chairs, Mr. General Secretary, and fellow leaders of this summit. Mr. President, Mr. Co-Chairs, at the dawn of the millennium, 15 years ago, we adopted the political declaration with 8 actionable MDGs, expressing a strong commitment for our people's development. Today, the economy has witnessed different progress, yet the implementations of MDGs have produced encouraging results all over the world, helping change the lives of hundreds of millions of people. Yet, over 1 billion people still live in extreme poverty, and several MDGs fall short of our expectations. Challenges in terms of hunger, poverty, epidemics, social injustice, depletion of natural resources, environmental degradation, climate change, conflicts, crisis, escalating violence, instability, and tension in many corners of the world are seriously threatening peace, security, and sustainable development. In this context, we gather here today to express our strongest commitment and support for a truly transformational global development agenda. The Transforming the World document, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, with 17 goals and 169 targets, presents a new strategic vision that reflects the aspiration of humankind to live in a world of peace, safety, equality, and justice, a world where development is green, clean, and sustainable. The agenda creates a framework and sets the direction for all nations to collectively respond to common challenges in the 3 economic, social, and environmental pillars. Mr. Co-Chairs, Vietnam wholeheartedly supports the 2030 Agenda and pledges to do our level best to ensure its successful implementation. We will mobilize all necessary resources. We will engage all ministries, sectors, locality, and organizations in the communities. 3 points need particular attention. First, peace and development are intertwined. Never can we expect the NDGs to be realized in the circumstances of war, conflict, and instability. Only by ensuring peace and stability can we pool, educate resources, and foster the necessary partnership for SDG implementation. Therefore, maintaining peace and security on the basis of respect for international law is a precondition for the successful implementation of SDGs. It is incumbent upon us all to find peaceful and satisfactory solutions to conflicts and disputes, exercise self-restraint, refrain from the use of threat of force, and strengthen cooperation among all countries on the basis of equality and mutual benefits. Second, having achieved most MDGs ahead of schedule, Vietnam believes that successful implementation of the 2030 Agenda requires strong political will and full effective mobilization of domestic resources. It requires us to envision sustainable development as a long-term, people-centered endeavor and mainstream SDGs into all national programs and strategies, taking into account the specific conditions and circumstances of each nation. As part of our own national strategy on sustainable development for 2011-2020, Vietnam is committed to accelerating economic restructuring, transforming the growth model to enhance growth quality and economic efficiency, guarantee social equality, preserve natural resources, protect the environment, and respond to climate change. Third, It is imperative to strengthen the global partnership for sustainable development. The United Nations can and should play the critical coordinating role, and other international organizations. Developed countries are called upon to take the lead and undertake to support the developing countries to implement the SDG, particularly through capacity building, technology transfer, trade facilitation, and access to financial resources. On behalf of the Vietnamese people, I would like to thank all partners, all countries, international organizations for supporting Vietnam in our social, economic development and NDG implementation over the past years. We look forward to further cooperation and assistance during the realization of the 2030 Agenda on Sustainable Development. Mr. Co-Chairs, Vietnam is working with other member states of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, to build an ASEAN community by the end of 2015 and a Southeast Asian nation of peace, stability, cooperation, and prosperity. To ensure an environment conducive to sustainable development, Vietnam is working with ASEAN and its partner in common efforts to maintain and consolidate peace and security in the region, including ensuring maritime safety and security, freedom of navigation and overflight in the South China Sea, the main artery connecting ASEAN with other regions. It is our consistent policy that all disputes in the South China Sea can only be resolved by peaceful means on the basis of respect for international law, including the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, effective and full implementation of the Declaration of the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea, DOC, and early conclusion of the Code of Conduct, COC, for the South China Sea. Mr. Co-Chairs, I believe that with the high conviction and political will, we will be successful in implementing the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development in the interest of all peoples of the world for a safer and better life of the children of today and tomorrow. Vietnam pledges to be an active and responsible partner in these common endeavors to make sure that no one, no country, no individual is left behind. Thank you, Mr. Co-Chairs. Thank you for your attention.